Hi everyone, my name is James Pham. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Opsin. We are super excited to announce that we had secured $7 million in funding from Raise Capital. I'm super thrilled about it. Before I jump in and talk about our funding route, let me give you a little bit introduction about Opsin, what we do. So Opsin is on a mission to solve the oversharing problem when it comes to Gen AI. We safeguard enterprises from data exposure risk in using Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. We are working with companies such as Culligan International, Cascade Environmental to protect their Microsoft Copilot deployments. Um, Super excited to have Alfred here. Alfred is from Raise Capital. He's been my mentor. I've known him for many years, but super excited in this journey together. So, Alfred, could you introduce a little bit more about yourself, the funds, and why did you buy Opsin in the first place?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Alfred Chuang. I'm one of the founding partner at Raise Capital. We're Palo Alto based, a venture fund that focus on early stage uh, enterprise oriented infrastructure companies. And previously, I was founder, CEO, and chairman of a company called BEA Systems for much of the 90s and all the way into late 2008 was sold to Oracle at the very end of the 2000s for $8.6 billion. When I exited, I was mostly doing personal investments, a lot of them, into this field. And eventually came together with a couple of partners. We formed this firm in 2019, focusing in doing the exact, enterprise go-to-market, software infrastructure type of investment. Mostly with AI, we are stitching together the open side of the stack of all the needed software above the operating system and below the apps to address the need for enterprises to build a custom application using AI or package application, SaaS application. They'll be rebuilding the application with Gen AI. And I actually met James when he was going to school at MIT. I was teaching a class, giving a lecture there, and he was in the class, and we really have hit it off. And so we have followed each other on our career path, since he actually came to Silicon Valley. And when this incredible opportunity came up, and he brought us to come to see me about a project they're thinking about starting, without question, I've decided to back them. And as time has evolved, I think we have find a really, I think, a unique use case for us. We were thinking almost simplifying it. We're doing OAuth for training in AI in the beginning, and now we really have, I think, narrow it down to a very specific need in the marketplace. I'm very excited about this company. We have decided to back not just only how we actually formed the company together, back the original financing round, but also now it's a seed round solely as a firm. So I love these guys, and we've been having a blast working together.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you so much for so much belief in us. And we truly enjoy the time working with you as well. Um, I know that you have a lot of vision into the futures about how Gen AI can help the entire universe, but humankind in general. But just to kind of take a step back and kind of be hear a little bit more about what your vision of Gen AI and how Opsin fit into that pictures and how we as a company help.
Yeah. So if you look at the type of company we invested in, I'll give you a few examples, right? So through the beginning of when Gen AI clicked, so some of our history was we were, one of the earliest investors in Databricks. So we were early in data, was in big data, solely for the purpose of machine learning. So obviously back then it's hard to convince people that the world was going to mutate as much. And the thesis we're on is actually a very simple one. Historically, everything that we're automated since the mainframe to our current time with the web and AI and mobile are all form based. So we are using we basically all we have done is automated what used to be a piece of paper with some field on it, and we pass them around to mimic and replicate the process of human. But it's not natural, right? Because it doesn't think like a human. It cannot spawn process a human. So Gen AI finally, I think, give us an opportunity to rethink that we can actually free the form. So that's been my mission basically my whole career. I wanted to do this from the very beginning, but we didn't have the technology. I think we finally get to the edge of this technology. So if you look at like what we invested in a very renowned retrieval augmented generation technology company very early, called Vectera, and then a voice model company that can replace human to do customer support. And they are now in the biggest airline, the biggest credit card company, for to solve basically the thing that human cannot do, which is great customer service that is sympathetic and can attune to you. The company is called Play AI. We invested in a company called ClockCheck, which then basically can turn a regular phone call that you dial on a toll-free number into a chat. Then we can analyze, is the customer frustrated, and can basically take over and basically have AI to call you back. Um, Opsin in particular important because uh, we are heavily relying on a way to make AI safe, right? AI today is great, but there's no boundary. So the curbing hallucination is one part, but the fundamental safety of AI, what information is not supposed to be told to people,
Mm,
is what Opsin's really addressing.
mm.
So and obviously we have mutated along the way, for the past year plus as we work together to nail down, the initial real use case. I think our Copilot real use case is extraordinarily important because right now it's fundamentally not safe because data governance are generally poor
Yeah.
when company got merged. So we need a technology to allow the information that's shared to be safe and not harm anybody. So this is very exciting for us. That we were able to meet the milestone we were able to meet, and going forward we'll have a way at least to safeguard the most proliferated AI implementation out there, which is through the Microsoft set of tools and like SharePoint, Teams, using Copilot.
Yeah, definitely. I think Microsoft Copilot is the number one GenAI tools out there. There are more than 100,000 enterprises that are using Microsoft Copilot, and more than 70% of Fortune 500 are using it. And to be honest with you, we're very excited, and this is fits really well with the experiences that our founders of Opsin have, like me and us. We have decade-long experiences in security. Maybe before we talk about like how are we intend to use the latest investment, maybe us you could articulate a little bit more about your experiences and background in security in general, just to give the audience a little bit about the background about like you, and then I'll talk a little bit about myself and what my experience and background look like. Just for the audience on the call, we actually have another founder, Jeremy Myland. Unfortunately, it's kid pickup time, and all of us have kids in the company, so we have to kind of juggle a little bit here and there. But we have another co-founder. His name is Jeremy, and then I'll introduce him on his behalf later on. But also, why don't you go ahead and talk a little bit about yourself, your background, your experiences, and I'll talk about mine and Jeremy.
Awesome. Great to be here and super excited to keep working with Race Capital and our other investors. It's a great time. So my name is Oz. I actually met James and worked together at another phenomenal startup called Abnormal Security. We were early on the product team there. James was very much involved in the machine learning practice. There they built phenomenal technology, and I was on the security side. Again, early on the product management journey. They're almost going public this year. My experience is mostly in security. So I've been a security engineer by training, and then served on a lot of other great security companies such as FireEye, again, Abnormal, where I met James, Rico AI. So this is my third time doing 0 to 1, first time as a founder, and super excited to keep this journey. We're seeing great momentum, and we love working together. It's just a great time to do this. So James, I'll pass it again to you.
Yeah, definitely. So, like I was mentioned, I have background in machine learning. And like Alfred mentioned, I went to MIT. I actually have a background in machine learning. Um, Back when I was at MIT, I actually taught a few classes on machine learning, and I've been working on machine learning at Abnormal Security. And even before I started my own company, I was head of decentralized AI products at a Series A company. So I've been, very hand-on involved in the machine learning side of the house. And when I met Oz again, it's like like we instantly click, right? Like he focused on security, I have background in machine learning, and that's how we kind of like, okay, we're gonna do something in Gen AI security. We have a third co-founder, Jeremy Mylan. He's come from a very strong um, security background. He was a founder and CTO of a company called Diebell that got sold to Xtero. And before that, he was at Trifecta, Vontu, and a lot of different enterprises. He focused a lot on the engineering side of the house and has a long experiences in engineering. Like together, the three of us, with a background in machine learning, background security, and someone who have a very deep technical background in engineering execution. Um, that's how we form the team together. And one interesting fact about our company is that we have a lot of professional athletes in our team. Um, do you want to say like what is your professional athletes about?
Yeah, it's funny. It came together. So I was a national level swimmer my whole life. This is the way I came to the United States. I got a full scholarship to swim on the East Coast. And then we also have a national champion in long distance jumping that went to Princeton. And I just love the mentality of athletes in the company, perseverance, just coming and giving everything they can every single day. So would love to have more, right? And we're hiring, so.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, just a little bit tension on like the founders and the team background. With regard to the new funding round, um, we are planning to significantly expand the engineering teams to deliver for more customers. We are supporting a lot of big enterprises. You could check out the latest case study that we released on Culligan International as well as Cascade Environmentals. These are traditional company. These are places that you wouldn't think that Gen AI would reach. But with the Gen AI technologies, like things move so fast in the market that even traditional companies are adopting Gen AI. Specifically, in this case, they are adopting Microsoft Copilot specifically because it's basically very easy for enterprises to adopt Microsoft Copilot. You can just go there, put in your credit card, turn it on, and there you go. But the thing is that there's a lot of risk involved with that. So with that said, I'm super excited to expand the engineering capacity within our team, as well as kind of significantly expand our go-to markets as the next milestone. So with that said, like Alfred, back to you again. Like with the new funding and new excitement around Opsin, like what is your hope and expectation, and what do you think about the future?
It's actually, in some way, I think this is um, the way the venture used to be done.
Hmm.
And maybe we should share with the audience a little bit actually how the Swarang actually came together. So this company was formed. I look at it together, between Raise Capital and the founders of Opsin. It's out of a need, and the clearly the market requirement has come to light with the founders about leaving their full-time job to form a company to do this thing full-time, and we backed the formation of this company, and which is actually in many ways is rare for Raise Capital. We generally are a seed, late seed kind of venture fund, some Series A. And again, after a year-ish working together, you guys coming to sometimes spend time in our office, have lunch with us, right? And I think in many ways, I almost feel like, by the way, that would be our measurement of successes. The free founder sometimes treat me and treat Raise Capital like co-founders, right? So when you guys, what you can share everything with us, right? We're family, and when we're contemplating putting more resources in engineering, putting more resources in customer success, we had just a regular meeting. I remember that was just a few weeks ago, and we sat together in a room and say, well, let's map out, in a perfect world, what resource do we need? And then my immediate comment was, I said, well, we should find a way to let's go do that immediately, and not get the company distracted. Which then came to why we decided to back the whole round ourselves, and to enable this so that we waste the least amount of time, we keep the company and the team more focused, and then we'll be able to get all the resources we need to be able to do this right. Because I don't think AI safety is something that we can scheme on. Either you do it perfectly right, or why bother to do it? And I think what we are embarking on is so unique. The market needed it so badly. Our pipeline is so large. It's a pity that we don't capture it, right? It's not just because of the revenue that we'll be able to get to, but it's really where the world needs this technology. So uh, that's really how I see it. Like, like we want to immediately open these 15 racks that we talked about and go after getting the best of the people that you guys have worked with in the past, and some of the people that we will need that we haven't worked with before, right? So and we have identified a bunch of candidates. I can't even wait for us to be able to just get it done.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Thanks so much for making the time, Alfred. And it's always great to talk with you. Us, me, and Jeremy, we're all going to be at Assay. So if you guys are listening to this and at Assay, we would love to talk to you. We would love to talk to you about, hey, what is oversharing and how we're going to solve it with Opsin, and how easy it is to onboard Opsin. Disclaimer, it's only 15 minutes for you to onboard Opsin, and we will produce you with a risk assessment report. So that's a good place to start. So catch us up as Assay, and we would love to talk to you.
All right, see you at RSA.